everyone, Tony Phelan here with CompetitionX, and today we're going to take a look at the new vehicle from Team Associated. This is based on the Apex2 chassis. This is the ST550 Super Touring Car. So the ST550 is very similar to their other release that just came out recently, the A550 Rally Car. It's based on the same Apex2 chassis as well, but this car has a few differences from that car that we're going to take a look at once we get inside the box, which we're going to do right now and show you what else comes with this kit. Okay, so before we show you what's under the hood of the ST550, we're going to go over all the other stuff that comes in the kit. The first thing that we're going to look at is the XP120 radio system. This is kind of a standard system for Team Associated RTR vehicles. It has all the functions you need on it. Servo reversing. It also has dual rates and steering trims, or throttle and steering trims. It's a nice little radio system there. This kit also comes with a bag of goodies, and these are going to be extra stuff that you will need should you need to replace anything. There's some preload spacers here to adjust your ride height, some extra ball ends, some of the pivot balls, looks like some spacers, a couple other things, maybe like a servo mounts, servo horn, and then this does come, okay, so this does have a little bit different radio battery box than the A550. So as you can see, this actually has the battery box as well as the receiver box here. Those do not come as standard features in this car. Those are add-on features. We'll show you why in a minute once we get inside the box. So these are the parts that come with it, and then a little foam sticky back. No, just a little foam piece for somewhere in the kit. And then we have the bag of paperwork, the manual for the ST550X speed control, mini catalog, some of the stickers that have already been used, but it comes with a few extra stickers, and then of course the manual for the ST550 touring car. Okay, so before we get to the chassis, we're going to look at the body set that comes on the ST550. Now, this body is based after the Australian V8 cars. When I was younger and I wanted an RC car, I always loved and wished there was an Australian V8 car. So Team Associated has brought it about with the ST550. Now this is, obviously it's very bubbly. It's kind of touring cars, but it's a lot more bubbly. But it does have neat features like mirrors, solid mirrors, windshield wiper, separate, this nice rear wing. I don't think there's any exhaust or anything, nope, but it's got really nice lines to it. And then kind of that Australian V8 Commodore or Holden or whatever front end. So this body obviously is available with Team Associated's kind of red, blue, and white livery on it. They will be offering this as clear bodies, so you can paint them up however you want. There's no light buckets or anything in this. This is more of kind of a race body than it is a scale body, but it does look super cool, and we have a couple of the clear bodies on order. We're going to do some liveries of our own. Pretty neat. All right, so here we are, the ST550. Now, if you've seen the A550, you know that this is very similar. Plastic chassis, it's a molded tub. It uses front and rear independent suspension. It's got fixed links in the front and rear. It does not have any kind of camber adjustments or any caster adjustments. All of the links here, the toe links, are all solid. There's no adjustments there. I do think eventually they will have some upgrades to allow you to adjust this stuff, but right now, as an RTR, this is the way it comes. The ST550 does have something different than we discussed with the A550. Basically, the biggest differences are going to be the different tires. These are more of a road tire. The A550 had a rally tire, like a rally block, but right here, you'll notice that the chassis doesn't have the radio box, wherever the radio box is, then it goes up front here, and then the shorty pack here. This has an insert that allows you to run either a shorty pack or a standard size pack kind of on its side there. So this allows you to run either the two battery types. On the other side of the chassis, we still have the SC500X ESC. This is a 2S and a 3S compatible ESC. A Sport 550 motor, it's a Reedy motor. Because this will accept a 3S LiPo pack, the car is geared for 3S power, which means if you put a 2S battery pack in here, it's going to be kind of slow. So what you'll need to do is if you run in a 2S, you'll need to change the gearing out, which is pretty simple. You'll need to change the gearing out to, I think it's got a 20 tooth pinion, up to 24, 25, 26, something like that. And that will make the car faster on a 2S pack. All right, up front, you can see that it has a standard shock tower. It uses friction shocks. These actually feel really good for a friction shock. You'll probably want to change them out for oil-filled shocks if you want more performance, but right now the friction shocks actually feel really good. They did a lot of work on their friction shock. It uses an upper and lower suspension arm here that has cutouts, kind of lighten them up a little bit, give them kind of a neat look to them. It has a dual bell crank steering. Fixed link, again, fixed links here. There's no adjustment to those. It's got a metal geared servo underneath this little plate here, which is a nice little plate that mounts to the upper part of the servo mounts for the ESC. Now this does come with a sealed front gear diff. It does have grease in it, but it can be upgraded to put oil in it, and it will hold the oil, so you can modify the front diff for better performance. It's also got, you can kind of see these little guys right here. These little guys right here allow for a front anti-roll bar addition as well. It is available separately, doesn't come with the car, but it does allow for front anti-roll bar. All right, moving to the back of the car, you can see that it uses the same upper and lower suspension arms as it does in the front. This is great because you only need one spare set of arms that'll work on any of the four corners on the car. It also uses the same rear diff as it does with the front. It is sealed, it does have grease in it. It also has areas for the anti-roll bar, and it uses the same friction shocks as the front as well. These can be replaced with oil-filled for better performance. Also included with the ST550 is the white version of their turbine wheels, wrapped in the street tire, the treaded street tire. But what I really like about the ST550, basically any of their Apex2 chassis, is the use of the caliper and brake disc underneath. It's a nice touch. The last thing I want to check out is the bottom of the chassis. Now what I like about this is that Associated didn't just give us a flat pan chassis. They had a little bit of detail to kind of give it more of a scale look. Really neat feature. So we are pretty pumped about this car. We've been wanting to do something of like a spec series for a while, and this car would fit right in there with that. We do have a couple other videos coming up, how to replace the bearings, how to adjust the diffs, how to change the shocks out, make this car more of a spec performance car than what it comes in the box. Let's go show you how this car performs. We're going to take it out, give it a little bit of wheel time, and see what kind of speeds we can get with this thing.